So before we get started this week, we wanted to take some time to talk about Taylor Hawkins. This week marks 1 year since Taylor Hawkins passed away at the age of 50 on March 25th, 2022. And it's been a year, certainly. And, thinking about Taylor, we all think of him very often and we miss him a lot. And it's one of those things, I think in the last year, so many people around the world, ourselves included, have, taken a lot of time to remember him and honor him and just honor his legacy. Such a larger than life figure that, we miss all the time, and hard to believe, it's already been a year since he's passed away.
Yeah, Taylor, he was inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 21. He had 8 studio albums with the Foo Fighters, and obviously his time before with Alanis Morissette. He's definitely cemented in the rock and roll world, and for good reason. We've seen the Foo Fighters a few times, saw the tribute show, and that band. To me, it was Dave Grohl at first, but then it really was Dave and Taylor. So they always went hand in hand, and they would lead they would lead together every night, which I always loved. Like when bands, like it wasn't just Dave Grohl, as big of an icon as he is. It was always him and Taylor, and they were so close and friends. And I think that's what always gets me with this one, is not only his talent, but just how close they all were, and how much of a family that band was, and their families as well. So that's always the tougher. That's a tough thing to think about. Like, he was only 50 years old and had kids, and was so close to the people and the band. So it is a tough one. It's tough to come back each year and think about it.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's just one of those things, he's never far from our thoughts. And I'm looking forward to the ways, the Foo Fighters have a lot of shows planned, for this summer at different festivals and whatnot. And I'm looking forward to, those shows serving as a continuation of, I think, what started at the tribute shows, is just a way to remember him and feel close to him through his music. And I mean, that's the thing that all great musicians do. I mean, most fans of Taylor Hawkins didn't know him personally, but there's just that way that, art intercedes in a weird way, and it makes you feel like you know these people, and they give so much to you through their talents and just through who they are. And Taylor, did that better than almost anybody. I always just think of that smile that he always had, on the back and forth on stage, and just how funny and how nice of a person he seemed to be. And moving forward, certainly this week, as it marks 1 year since his death, and all the ensuing weeks, we honor him by listening to his music, sharing stories of shows that we went to where we saw him, sharing memories that we have with the music that he made, and just playing it loudly. I think that's it's the best way to do it. And hard to believe it's already been a year.
Mm-hmm. So we went to the show this past fall. I want to ask you, Chris, what do you remember most from that show in regards to Taylor, and how it brought up memories, or what can you remember from that to honor him, I guess?
I just think it was the sincerity of everybody who was playing that night at the tribute show at the Forum in Los Angeles in September of 2022. Just the sincerity and just how open everybody was, and just how, I don't know, you get that feeling whenever someone passes away that was a gem of a person. You can hear how special of a person they were in the way that the people who knew him or her spoke about that person. And you felt that all night long. The way they were singing, the way they were playing, the way they were talking and commemorating, his legacy and who he was. I'll never forget that feeling. You don't feel that way for everybody when somebody passes away, but certainly, for all 6 hours, I felt that way. And, the people around us, everybody had a story. Everybody had a Taylor story. And that's not a given. You live your life, and hopefully you can impact people in a positive way along the way. And Taylor did that night in and night out. And he did that every single time somebody, pressed play on a Foo Fighters song. So,
yeah.
What a legacy he leaves behind. And, he'll never be forgotten, certainly. And yeah.
Yeah, I always remember just how together that crowd felt. Obviously, I was next to three of my best friends. I felt really special to be, because that's how I always picture this one, is like I was Taylor and Dave together, like I said before. So I was next to three of my best friends seeing this, and if it was very real to think, like, if I were to lose somebody that I'm with, how difficult that would be past the music side of it. And I love the way that everybody played, and it really felt like no one wanted to leave. I mean, it was over 6 hours, and it really felt like we were just going to keep going. So I don't think anybody wanted to leave. They just wanted to, if we could still be playing now, they would be in a way.
Yeah,
so it was a special night, just full of emotion. And like I said, there was a few songs where you could really feel it, and it will be very special. I'm happy that he had I feel like it did it all justice. Like, it was a very good tribute to him and everything. And like you said, everybody that spoke was very sincere. So it was special.
Absolutely. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It was really special. So, as we continue this week and as the 25th draws closer and all days to come, we play his music loudly and we share the stories, because it's the best way to keep him alive. And, that is what we will do. So miss you, Taylor.
Yep, Taylor, we miss you. Keep rocking in heaven, and we'll see you soon. It's finally here, Chris. Episode 104 of the Grunge Bible Podcast. My name is Ethan Shalloway. We have Chris Salona here. And this is a special one. This is the 2-year anniversary of the pod. We've talked about it probably to, I don't know, to an annoying level. But we're here. And this is our 2-year straight, second year in a row straight. I can't talk right now, but
that's all right. You don't have to. Yeah, 2 years of the podcast.
2 years of the podcast.
104 episodes. That's 52 weeks times 2. 2 whole entire godforsaken years in the rearview mirror of doing this podcast. What a joy!
Yeah, awesome. What a joy! This is awesome.
This is cool.
There's a lot to be proud of here. It's just kind of cool, it sounds so lame, but it is cool to look back and see a body of work. So yeah, dude, I'm pretty stoked to be here.
Yeah, man.
Stoked. Man, hopefully this takes off some pressure moving forward now that we've made it. It's like,
yeah, exactly.
We hung around long enough.
You're not a true podcaster until you do 104 weeks in a row. So we've finally done that. Hopefully we get some sort of how like YouTube, when you reach like a subscriber number, like YouTube sends you one of those plaques, like a platinum plaque or a gold plaque. Somebody, yeah. I kind of want a plaque.
Yeah,
I need something, something to feel alive.
I'm glad you brought up the YouTube, actually, because I was just looking. I'm going to make sure that it didn't change anything from yesterday.
We've almost got 1,000 subscribers.
We have 992 subscribers. So
yeah, if
you're listening, go and subscribe to the YouTube. Be our 1,000th subscriber.
Yes.
Let's get over the hump.
Yeah.
I think it's perfect that our 2-year coincides with our 1,000th subscriber on YouTube. That's pretty big, right? That's hard to get cool. Subscribers on YouTube.
I have no idea if it's hard to get. I don't know. It's been hard for us.
Apparently, it's been a grind.
It's been a labor of love. Not only that, though, Ethan. Over on Spotify, we are closing in on 5,000 podcast show followers. We're at like 4,920.
Wow. So if you're listening right now on Spotify, pause the episode. You don't even need to pause it. Pause it. Go.
Yeah, you can do it all in real time.
All right, yeah, click. All right, you're going to click the follow in 3, 2, 1. Click.
Do it. Do it
boom,
now. Right now.
Do it now. And I think we're going to be at 5,000 next week. If you guys all do this right now, we're going to do it. So even if you aren't listening on Spotify, just go over there and do it and just, sometimes you just gotta, if you're not gonna listen to it, at least follow us. Something.
Well,
like
that's
that.
the thing, and that's what it's all about. You just have to do something. I mean, it doesn't take much time.
Passive support, just follow.
Yes, exactly. I love passively supporting things, or only supporting things when it's convenient. Like World Cup. Love doing that every 4 years. It's great.
March Madness right now.
March Madness. People love doing that with politics. I mean, it's great. There's so many things that you can dedicate yourself to entirely for a 1 to 2 week span.
Chameleon.
And then forget about it.
Just change skins and be all in, fit in.
You just put the word out that you're back up, and then you just let it roll. That's what you have to do.
It's like when this year when the Phillies made the World Series, it was like, all the Phillies fans, Phillies popping. And it's like everybody was so mad.
So
they're like, where are these people?
Through you, obviously you're from Eastern Pennsylvania, and through my time going to school in Pittsburgh, you meet a lot of people that are from Eastern Pennsylvania, and like, they've had some success with sports the last few years. The Phillies, the Eagles, obviously winning a Super Bowl and then going to another one. Sixers been okay. It's so funny. Like, they all come out of the woodwork. Like, when
you got to.
I haven't heard these people talk about any of this shit until they make the dance, and the next thing you know, everybody's an Eagles fan. It's tough work growing up in New England when all of your teams are good all the time. There's no time. You can't take a breath. You just got to keep rolling, just like the Grunge Bible podcast.
Just like us.
Grunge rock.
Exactly. Grunge.
So, this is episode 104. How are you doing today, Ethan?
I'm doing good. This is probably one of the later times that we've recorded an episode. This is Saturday.
Yeah, we're staying up late to get the paper done the night before it's due.
Yeah. So I feel good though. I feel really good. Got a good day ahead of me. First preseason comp of the year, so pretty excited about that.
The javelin season is starting up.
Yeah,
it never really stops, but
it never stops. But now it does start. You know what I mean? It doesn't stop, but it does start and restart and stuff. So that's really exciting. The weather, like, we're mid-March, so the weather is slowly getting more consistent. The sun is now up. Out longer at night, the daylight savings, so that's huge.
I'm a huge fan.
Yeah, man, I'm doing really good. How about you?
Yeah, I'm good. It's funny. I can't remember. I think it was last week we did the Q&A, and somebody asked us our thoughts on tax evasion. Well, wouldn't you have it? Yesterday I went and got my taxes done, and I did not evade any tax. I reported all of my taxable income, and sometimes it's like what they said in the Alice in Chains song. We pay our debt sometime, and you have to.
Yeah.
It's just something you have to do. But otherwise, I'm good. I'm excited. Like, there's just something about that like weird little dopamine response you get when the weather warms up. We're firing back up, starting to get out a little more. It's good. That just made me sound like I was a hermit in the winter. No, this winter really wasn't that bad. But I'm
winter
good,
went
man.
fast.
Yeah, dude, the winter flew by, which is good. And we just keep on rolling. I'm excited for spring and summer. Excited to plan some cool stuff. We gotta plan a get together at some point and let it rip. So that's what we're gonna do. But this week, for this episode, we've done this from time to time, but there's no better time than the present to pause for some gratitude. This is 2 years, and I think at the beginning of the episode you just mentioned something about, like, it's cool, or like a cool aspect of it, but like, yeah, man, like, I think it's just cool that people listen to us. I don't really know why at points, but it's really cool. Lately, the last couple of weeks, I mean, we have been doing this a long time, but it's just cool. We've been getting a lot of people that just message us or support us or become a patron, or buy stickers or just leave a comment. And I don't know, I've always appreciated it, but just lately I've taken more time to kind of pause and just read the words that people send us and think about the actions that people are doing to support us. And it's really cool. It's humbling, and I'm just happy to still be here to do it. As I get older, I'm 28, but as I get older, and high school's farther away, college is farther away, and
you listen to music that really takes you back to those moments, and it only really it sets in more and more the farther you get away and the older you feel. And I can totally understand how this page, like maybe like 7 years ago, we didn't really understand what type of
No.
like memories were being brought up for people that find this stuff when it was fairly maybe new to the Instagram, and like this stuff wasn't that was a total different social media world back when we started all this. So I was thinking about it, and like I totally understand where people get really excited, like, and they have told us, like, we had Mark, we went and did At Home with Mark, and he was like, I just seen that stuff, like, it pop up on my feed. It really does, like, bring a bright light to my day. And I thought about that, and I was like, he's right. I mean, it really does elicit some great memories, and that's really valuable to a lot of people. It's valuable to me when it happens, when I can, have those memories pop up. So, yeah, it's really cool. There's still value in what we do, and that's pretty cool to think about.
Yeah, it's really cool, and it's a special feeling to feel like you're playing a part in that community, and to be that, serve that role for people, to help them remember things, or get them to remember things that they had forgotten, or songs they had forgotten, or shows.
Yeah.
It's always so cool. You post a video from a show, and people are like, I was there. It was XYZ, and like it was this day, and I was doing this. I went with this person. Those memories are really cool, and it's important to carry those forward. As you get older.
Yeah. Have you ever went back? So, well, I know you didn't start doing many concerts until like 4 years ago or so.
Yeah.
So do you have any, like, from way back when you're younger that you feel like you could, go on YouTube and search? Like I was just listening to Dirty Heads more this weekend, and I saw the Front Bombs. We're going to get into. We both saw a concert this week that we need to address. And but I haven't done it yet for the Front Bottoms, but I want to go back and look up shows in like 2013 and be like, I was there, you know what I mean? I can look like 10 years ago, like saw some stuff, and like I can really actually say like, I remember this is the summer between high school and college, and like it's gonna be great. I haven't done it yet because I was doing a bunch of other stuff, but I was just thinking about. I was like, I wonder if there are some videos of these, and there's always something out there.
Yeah, I've done that with a couple of shows. Obviously the Pearl Jam shows I've done that for. Since there's always a lot of live video from that. I also did that. I saw Tom Petty in 2017. I've watched some videos from that. The specific shows are escaping me, but last year afterwards I would go and look. I think I went to a Car Seat Headrest concert, and somebody put the whole concert up. So like that was pretty cool. Kind of related to that, something that I really enjoyed doing, and it's funny you strike gold, but I went back and I watched the show that Pearl Jam played the day I was born, September 28th, 1996. They were playing somewhere in New York, and it was cool just to watch that set. I'll watch it periodically, but just kind of one of those things. Obviously not a memory that I have, but just a cool little significance, significance. So yeah, what do you have you gone back and looked?
Not quite. I think I'm gonna, but also like I have some video from.
Yeah, I have my own.
Right, exactly. I have some videos from these old shows and like some really old stuff, and like I texted you and I told you about this idea, but I kind of want to dump them all on YouTube somewhere because maybe somebody out there is looking for what we have, some old archive videos, and I'm like, so I've been thinking about that a lot. It's cool to kind of. Like taking videos at concerts. So what do you think about taking videos at concerts, Chris?
So it all depends. I think if you're taking videos at concerts and you're not getting in the way of anybody, like you're not sticking your phone up above everybody so they can't see. I mean, you can do whatever you want. I mean, you put it like in front.
I was like, where else are you gonna stick it if it's not above?
Have a ball, but like you can put it in front of your frame so that someone behind you is not going to be their view is not going to be obstructed. I mean, if you're not negatively impacting anybody else's experience around you, I mean, go ahead, like do what you want. I mean, you never know like why people are recording. Like I always have this thought, because people will make wisecracks about people recording, but who's to say this person isn't recording a show to go back to a hospital and show their dying brother or something that loved that artist. I mean, you never know.
You never know.
So
Yeah.
my thing is like you can totally do it and not be a detriment to the other people's experiences around you. So I don't really have a problem with it. I know I really don't like to record too much of a show because I just like to stand there and experience it. And it's a weird feeling when Ethan, when you and I will go see performers or bands that have an importance to the page or they're grunge or grunge adjacent, I kind of feel like it's a job that I have to record and to get like a good video or a good picture to post. And it's kind of stressful. So it's like I just try to do it early, get it out of the way, and just enjoy the rest of the show. I don't like to take too many videos. And for my own personal Instagram stories, you gotta let the people know you're at the show. So I take one video and I post it, and you gotta let them know, because there's so much clout to be gained on social media. So people are definitely gonna think you're cooler because you went to a live music concert. But what is your opinion? I think you're a more prodigious video taker than I am. I think it shows.
It depends on the show, how many times I've seen
it. Totally
and
depends on the
whatnot.
show. Yeah.
And I mean, I would say against it, but for a while, yeah, I was always really entrenched in everything going on. But I do, and I feel like I've moved in. Like I do enjoy sometimes. Like people say you don't go back and watch them, but that's not completely true, because I do kind of go back and when I'm looking through the albums, like I'll click on it and some video from 2015 Cuyahoga Falls and the Foo Fighters, and I watch it and I'm like, damn, I remember this. Like we were way back in a huge amphitheater, so it kind of makes more sense than you're being in the middle of it. But I enjoy it. It's you don't want to like record too much, but also like I don't know, anything can happen during the show, so it's kind of fun to be ready. But
and I totally,
it all depends. It all depends on the show and the atmosphere.
You have those purists too that are like, "Wow, how dare you take any video or pictures?" But it's the same concept. I think something that people do, and I'm certainly guilty of this, and because you never know what's going to happen. But something I never feel like I take enough pictures with friends of mine and people that I love. Like you never take enough pictures, and we all have our final day, and there's different things that you can do to remember people, and certainly I think pictures are really important, and I think that applies for important memories or important concerts or fun nights too. It's cool, to snap a quick video and it'll pop up years later in your phone or in your Instagram archive, and it's just another way to remember it. So I think it's cool to do, and yeah, it's just something, it's something for you or for other people. It doesn't matter. It's fun to commemorate things that have an impact on you. So, I don't have a problem with it at all. I like to do it. I certainly, I go back and look at some of the videos. I've got them from damn near every show that I've gone to. So
yeah, it's worth it. I was to say, I like when, now I haven't been to a show where maybe you'd apply, but like if I'm seeing a friend or somebody that, obviously is on stage and can't record, like I feel like I want to record it and then, I can give it to them and be like, here. And then they're usually really thankful. Like if I was performing or even competing or something, like having those videos, you're always like, thank you very much. Like now I have this as as the person. Cool. So it's good. I love sharing those with people, if not like anything else. So
I agree 100%. And that's that has a lot of parallels for us too in athletics, with throwing the javelin or weightlifting or powerlifting or something. When you have a momentous performance or so, you want video, you want pictures of it. It's just cool to have. So and I always like to with Grunge Bible on the Instagram page, I always like to post pictures or a video from stuff that I don't think a lot of the people that follow the page would be listening to if I go to a show. You tag the artist so they can explore more if they like what they hear, like what they, what they're hearing. So It's always serves a cool purpose, and we're in a cool spot to do that because of everybody that chooses to support us. And nice, 2 years right here, and we've been we've been pushing it off. We haven't thanked the patrons yet. We certainly wouldn't have gotten through 1 year or 1 month without the support of everybody that has chosen to be a sustaining member on Patreon. If you were interested, if the heavens are speaking to you and you decide from that intercession that you want to support us, just go to the show notes, patreon.com. That link is there. You can support us by giving us $2, $5, or $10 per month. All of that money goes to making this podcast happen. We have bills to pay. We have producers that we need to pay. We have equipment that we need to purchase. We have equipment that we haven't been able to purchase yet, much to the chagrin of our previously mentioned producer. So every little bit helps, and it allows us to continue to do this show and hopefully do some cool things with it. So as we like to do, we would like to thank our top-level Patreon supporters for the extra special and awesome commitment that they make to us each month by giving us $10 of their hard-earned money. So I would like to thank Christine Shepard, Corden Stewart, Seattle 4 Fanboy from New Jersey, What the Fuck's Up Denny's, Shoe the Shoeless, Marianne, Laura Nyreen, The Blue Owl, Alexis Shannon, Black Hole Sean, Alex Long, Millie, Nikki Six, Rachel Corning, Brother Nature, Captain Hightop, Kara K, Eddie Vedder got me through my second divorce, Doug Endy, Chris LSMS, Carlene Salona, Jamie Lynn, Jade Mercado, Granny Grunge, Faith Bittner, Fuck Soup, and Fresh Tendonitis. So that group, those names that I just read, they're the real MVPs of the Grunge Bible podcast, because we could have all of the show ideas that we want. We could have all of the natural or acquired talent at this that we may or may not have, but none of that would matter, if people didn't support us and help to make this happen. So on this second anniversary of the Grunge Bible podcast, we are exceptionally grateful.
Yeah. Yes, we are very grateful, and we are excited to see that grow in the future. So
absolutely.
Talking to you out there listening, Johnny.
Exactly. Yeah, we're talking to you, Phyllis, if you're out there. Yeah. Whoever's out there is not paying the piper. Got to pay the piper. But, Ethan, there's music to discuss. There's a lot of shit going on. Not only is it the 2-year anniversary of the Grunge Bible podcast, but as we sit here today to record this, it is March 18th. Do you know what March 18th is? I swear to God, everything's just falling into place. Let me tell you what March 18th is.
Yeah, go ahead.
March 18th is Jerry Cantrell's birthday.
Oh my gosh,
it's the birthday of the Riff Lord, the King, just the Colossus, the man himself. Yeah, we're recording this on Jerry Cantrell's birthday. Yeah, born March 18th, 1966, Jerry Fulton Cantrell Jr.
Jerry's just a real guy.
Dude, he's a real fucking guy. And
he's just real.
Yeah, and this falls perfectly because this past week, I saw him live again.
You were Brighton back, tour, dude. The Brighton tour part leg.
2, the second domestic leg of the Brighton tour, sped through Providence, Rhode Island on March 14th at the Strand Ballroom in Providence. That's my town, so I was going to be there. And man, it's just... So it was the second time I saw Jerry. I've never seen him with Alice in Chains. I saw the first Brighton show last spring in Boston. I saw him again. So it was a different experience seeing him for the second time because it wasn't this, I'd seen him before. So it's not that level of specialness or not special in that way. But it was just really cool to stand there and be like, this guy's really cool. Yeah. Like it's such a weird experience for me and for you too, running this page and talking about these people all the time. And then boom, he's just right there in front of you playing those songs that you've posted hundreds of times. He's just he's a real dude. He's fucking cool. That was my biggest takeaway from him. Like, this guy's just cool. He's just really cool.
So how did it compare to the first one as far as set lists and whatnot? Did they play did they really mix it up?
Yeah, there was some variation. I know the first time I got Sea of Sorrow. I think I got Rooster the first time, and there was some variation as well with, I got some different songs from his solo catalog the first time, but this time, I got Check My Brain, Whale and Wasp, and Down in a Hole were a
That's
part of the
awesome.
set list, which was really cool. I was lucky enough. I got there. The doors were at 7, so I was like, oh, I'll go like 6:45 and just get in line. But the weather was awful, so not many people were in line. And I went in. I checked my coat. I paid $3 to check my coat. I let
Worth
them
it.
win. Yeah, it was totally worth it. $3. And I went and got a beer, which was only $6, which was great because I'm used. You normally pay $12 for a fucking beer at a fucking show. So that was great. I got my $6 beer and I went down and I got right up to the front. I wasn't sure because for the first time I saw him, I was way up at the front. So I wasn't sure what I wanted the tempo to be for the night, but I
Right.
got there early. I got done with my day. I got home from the gym, showered. I was like, I'll go check it out. Like if not, I'll just have a couple beers and just hang out. But the opportunity arose that I could be front and center for Jerry again. So when those windows are open, you get through them. So yeah, it was cool. I stood there. Thunder Pussy opened and they were fucking cool.
Yeah.
Really really awesome. I've much to my own fault, I've neglected them for a long time. I haven't really taken a dive into their music, but they were really awesome. I've been listening to them a lot this past week since the show. And Jerry was just cool, really really
Yeah,
cool.
dude. Just up there, just
I mean,
being
it's
stoic.
Jerry Cantrell, yeah, and like he's working the crowd, he's nodding. Like he threw a pick one time, and I was watching. So I was right in front of Greg Puciato, and Jerry was to Greg's left. So like I'm watching Greg, and I didn't even realize it. Jerry threw a pick, and he hit me in the face with his pick. I wasn't
No
even paying
way.
attention. Yeah, I was standing there. I was watching Greg. Like Greg was right in front of me, and he was working the crowd. And all of a sudden, like I feel something hit me above my left eye, and I was like, Jerry
What
Cantrell
the?
just threw a pick at my face. I didn't.
Maybe that was his
I
way of saying, "Hey, kid, quit it. Like I know who
yeah,
you are."
exactly. Fuck you, kid. Yeah,
That's
man.
awesome. Did
Yeah,
you
dude,
keep it? Was it on? Did
no.
someone else grab it?
So the pick hit me. I got one last year, and it hit me. And before I had a chance to like react to it, it fell to the ground. I don't know what happened to it, but I didn't really feel the need to try to scoop it up because I got one last year. I'll let other people get some Jerry Cantrell guitar picks. But yeah, man, it was really cool. And it's always funny. Like I posted after the show. Obviously, I had to post Wood, after the bridge when, in this case, Greg comes through and, hits the into the flood again to take us home and hit the tail end of Jerry's solo. Posted some video. Gil Sharon, the drummer, commented on it, which was cool.
Yeah, we
Greg
made some waves
Puciato,
with the band.
yeah, man. Greg shared a couple of the posts and followed us.
Yeah.
He decided to join join the Grunge Bible. So that's another added layer of responsibility. We cannot upset these people who choose to
Right.
follow us, who are public
No,
figures.
yeah.
But yeah, man, it was really cool. I would. If Jerry Cantrell came through my town every year, I would go every year and try to be in the
Yeah.
front every year. It's just one of those things you have to do, and you never regret it. So I'm really happy. I got to enjoy a really fun night with, one of my music idols for sure. And it's cool. You just hear the stories people are telling before the show. Like a couple of people behind me, they were like this man tonight is the reason why I started playing guitar back when I was 15 and I'm 42 now. Like he changed my life. And that's not a unique story. Everybody he's inspired so many people. So it's really cool just to get people together and, sing some of our favorite songs with
Yeah.
one of our favorite musicians.
Yeah, with them backing up our vocals.
Yeah, man.
As we yell
It was-
from the crowd.
yeah,
That's
it
amazing.
was
I'm really
really
happy
cool.
for you. Yeah, I'm happy. I love. I'd like to see Allison Chains as a band too, but seeing Jerry
too.
as the guy. I mean,
Dude,
obviously,
it's so cool because like Alice, like they play bigger venues. Like you can't get that close
Yeah.
for. I mean, I think my ticket was like $60. So like you go, like I mean, like I said earlier, like where else can you get 5 feet away from this dude and watch him play? For $60. It's
Yeah.
really, really, really special. And especially with this genre. I mean, we've lost so many great musicians. I know we opened this episode talking about Taylor Hawkins, and, we're a couple of weeks away from the anniversary of Kurt Cobain's death and
And Lane,
Lane
yeah.
Staley's death and Sean Smith's death. And I mean,
Smith.
unfortunately, the list goes on and on and on. So, the fact that like the grunge and grunge related calendar is so laden with anniversaries of people's deaths, I mean, that's all the motivation and all the kick in the pants that you should need to get out and see your favorite musicians, because, time and the world has been cruel to musicians, certainly in this genre. So go out and see him. And Jerry's got he's got some gigs left on this tour, so you got to get out and see it.
There's nothing too that doesn't fit my schedule to see him during this tour, which is upsetting. Or I'd try and go see again. He needs to come to Birmingham. I need something easy.
Exactly.
But yeah, go out and see Jerry. Follow the Brighton tour. We're going to be giving updates as we did last year. We're going to be giving updates
the gang's
again.
Back together.
The gang is back. Our favorite segment, following the Brighton tour, is back.
Yeah, the update.
I was able to see a show this past weekend as well, and it was very special. So I'm in Birmingham, and I drove about 5.5 hours to Asheville, North Carolina, to go to the Gray Eagle and see a late show of Brian Sella. And Brian is the lead singer to the Front Bottoms, one of my favorite bands of all time. And I got to go with good friend Andrew. We went up, we camped halfway there. We went and saw the show. After the show at 12 o'clock, we drove an hour and set up camp. And so the ticket was $20 plus a $5 fee. So it was $25. We split gas and, camped out. So we effectively, other than we got food like twice, but if you just do gas and ticket and housing, we both spent like $85. So, and we went 5 hours away from here.
You can't get better than that.
Yeah, so incredible experience. Like I said, he went on around 10:30, and he played 24 songs. And it was this. He has like a 5-leg tour. Or it's like 5 venues in the South that I think, my guess, and somebody said this, and it makes sense. They're doing a Talon of the Hawk anniversary tour that I believe you have tickets to.
I have a ticket
10
to,
year,
yeah.
which is really cool. And I think maybe they did this because he came out here because. A lot of the shows are in the Northeast and way up there, so maybe this is just like for the people that aren't going to be able to be at that. But this was really cool. This is his first, as far as I know, his first solo tour. First time he went out there, it was just him playing acoustic guitar and taking requests, interacting with the crowd a ton, and it felt so, intimate, as they say. Like, it was just. He was singing, we were singing back and forth, we were singing together to each other. It was like, it felt, everybody knew all of these lyrics, and it just felt different than a lot of the shows I've been to where people sing along. Like, it felt like there was so much emotion coming out, and it was phenomenal. I was so glad I was there. It was hard not to take some video because I was like, this just seems so special. Like, I don't know what this is going to feel like in 10 years or how everything's going to play out. Like, and as I was saying that to some people, I was like, dude, we don't know. This could be like, this could be, if something tragic happens or something. I was like, I don't know. This just feels really special. So I wanted to get a few videos, and I did. And it was just phenomenal. It was such a good time.
Yeah, dude, that's so cool. And I mean, you've gotten me into the Front Bottoms. I mean, your fandom and your passion for them is directly impacted me, and they've become one of my favorites, certainly in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And it's cool, just like the family tree that music fandom has, and you in a way you manufacture experiences for other people. But that's one. You got to take some video at something like that, because like you said, down the road, it's something special. And it's weird too. Like, you can experience a special show like the one, like the Brian Sella show that you just saw, and you could share the video with other people, and other people can glean from the video that it was special, but they'll never know that exact feeling because they weren't in the room. And it's just something cool, and for your perspective, it's like, you've got this memento from this experience. And it's just for you, and you're one of the only ones who gets it, since there weren't many people in the room, and it's something.
Oh, it was such a small venue.
Something to just hold close. Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. I'll definitely
really
be
special.
again, like you said, if he ever comes through, like, I mean, I was always like that, but I feel like the last 2 shows that I've been to, last 3 this year, because I've seen them now. I saw them in September with you, then in, I guess, I don't know when it was, November maybe, here in Birmingham, and then I saw them again. So it's been, each time, I just keep falling more in love with what they do on stage and stuff. So
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty pumped up. It was great. I needed it. It was a really special outing to do something like that, to just go get out there on the road. So
Yeah.
it's good.
It's fun to travel to something like that. It's like it's a 3-hour, 2 or 3 hour event that you're going to, and there's like a buy-in. You got to put some skin in the game to get there. You got to take some time. You got to travel a little bit. You got to maybe move your schedule around, but that totally makes it worth it. And that's like the coolest way to make memories, when you can do something like that. And
100%.
It's funny, like this upcoming week, I'm doing something similar. One of my best friends, who is also, he's a patron. He's got some skin in the game with the Grunge Bible podcast, but he loves the Wonder Years, who we've spoken about on this show before. And same thing in the way that you introduced me to the Front Bottoms. He got me into the Wonder Years, and they're coming to our region. So we're going back-to-back nights. We're going 2 shows. We're going in Rhode Island. I'm in Rhode Island, so we're driving over to Connecticut one night, and then the next night they're playing in Portland, Maine, and we're just gonna go to both of them. I'm taking a day out of work. I'm gonna go, spend some time with one of my best friends, seeing one of our favorite bands, and the band that we have certainly bonded the most over. It's cool to make memories like that, and when you look back on man,
it's gonna be great. That's so much fun. 2 in a row. That'd be really cool to see the difference. Yeah, you got to do something. You got to bring something and try to stand out in the crowd. Like if you had the same sign at 2 shows in a row in 2 different cities, he might notice or something.
Yeah.
Not that we're people that make signs for shows.
I've never made a sign for a concert.
No,
I made signs for sports games when I was little, but
nice.
No concert signs. I don't know. I'll just wear my Bumble hat that I normally wear.
Right. Oh, that was another thing for the show. This is kind of funny. He had a moment where somebody wanted him to wear their hat, their like cowboy hat. So he put the hat on, and then somebody else like threw another hat up there, and then he like put that on. So then all of a sudden everybody started throwing hats to him. And I was like way back there, and I was like, yeah, fuck it. So I took my hat and I threw it. And I put too much wrist on it. I tried to throw it like a tomahawk, like a frisbee, and put too much wrist on it. Just cut to the right, nailed somebody in the face.
It's like Jerry Cantrell threw a pick at me. You threw a hat at somebody.
I was like, damn. And I'm back there. I was like, damn. I just threw my hat. Like I just threw it into the crowd. Like it didn't even. And he put a bunch on. He's like, and then of course he's like, obviously you can get your hats back at the end. And at the end, sure enough. The one kid, he was just standing there. He's like, hat, and he threw it to me. So it was all good. I was glad I did it. He didn't.
Sometimes you just gotta have that faith that things will come back to you,
even if it didn't. I was like, talking up to the game.
You pay. I mean, I lost my Bumble hat like 3 times at concerts, and
it comes back.
Yeah, it's like what Neil Young said: a coin that gets tossed rolling home to you. Sometimes that's just the way that it works out, and I'm excited, really excited for shows. It's one of those things. I went to a lot of shows last year, and I was kind of tired of it at the end. I was like, oh man, like gotta go to this other one and stand up. And you take like a couple of months off in the wintertime because not really any shows around that you want to go see. And once you start getting your toes back in the water, you remember how to swim. And
the tough part is when you go to shows that you maybe aren't super excited for, and you don't know, because those can drain you if you are not careful. If you go to a show that you're like not really, you're just the music you're not really into, or the crowd and stuff. So, but if you're going to the bands that you love, there's so much. I have so much stamina for going to shows.
Absolutely, yeah. It's gonna be a good year. I want to hear the listeners out there. I want to hear what shows you're going to be attending this year. So hit us up, hit our line, send us a DM, send us an email, let us know what shows you will be at, and maybe we'll see you there. Maybe we'll meet up with you at some show here or there. It's funny, I posted the Jerry Cantrell, the video from the show in Providence, and like there were like 6 or 7 people that commented like, "Oh my God, like you were there," and then somebody commented that like so that was you in the front. I was like, I'm upset that people might notice me. That's bad. But no, it's fun. Yeah, we had a lot of people who are like, the audacity you had to go to this show and not let anybody know. You know, when you're such a highfalutin public figure, like us co-runners of the Grunge Bible, sometimes you just want to be like everybody else and just enjoy a show.
Yeah, the fact that people comment and be like, "That was you," like there's some recognition in the house, like that's pretty intense.
It's no good. It is good. We're thankful for it. It's cool. Music's awesome. It's great shit.
So I think to wrap it up, we don't have, like I said, this episode is just a little commemorative effort and
an exercise in gratitude.
An exercise in gratitude and talking about a few shows that we go to. We'll come back next week swinging. But I believe we have some songs of the week. Do we want to do that, Chris?
Yeah, we absolutely do have some songs of the week. Ethan, I'm relying on you to lead us off.
Oh, I can always come up with some stuff. And I think, actually, yeah, I got a good one. So, like I said, this past weekend, I listened to some Dirty Heads to get me back in the Dirty Head zone a little bit, because I was just like, man, I was showing my buddy. I was like, dude, I was at good shows all the time. I was like, these guys were like, their sound early, they've changed a lot, but their sound early, it was very like rap reggae, but in like a lot of rap and really heavy. Yeah. And I was loving it. And kind of recapping some of the shows we went to, and went to a show with Sublime in Rome and the Dirty Heads. Yeah. And I don't know if you've seen Sublime in Rome, and the guy I was talking to had seen him. And Sublime is an awesome band, and Rome is an incredible singer. And the fact that they came together, and like, it's one of those better team ups. And I love that they call it Sublime with Rome. They kind of changed it. They have two separate, there's Sublime and then there's this, and they're two separate projects. And it's the same members, plus Rome, minus Bradley plus Rome. And it's so fun. And island music and kind of reggae and like some really heavy, if you've ever been to a show that they play, like, it is so loud and so deep in the bass and so much fun. So I brought back a lot of these memories, and I've been listening to Sublime with Rome because they are, it's a lot of fun. I mean, they're really good. And Rome has great lyrics, and he can rap, and he's really good. And so they had a song that came out, I guess I'm not sure actually, maybe it was 2015, maybe it was a little bit later, maybe 2013 to 2015. But the song is called Sirens, and it's Sublime with Rome featuring Dirty Heads. So the Jared and Duddy B both take a verse, and Sublime's rapping, and they're all hanging out, and it is such a summer song. It's really big, and it comes in and out, and it's just like, it's so much fun, and it takes me back instantly to those summers and seeing them with my good friends and stuff. And it's just a great collaboration between the group. And I believe Rome actually just released an album with Duddy B, who is the guitarist in Dirty Heads and one of the rappers. So Jared Watson, he's the lead singer, and then Duddy B is the guitarist and sings like verse and whatnot. So him and Rome released a kind of a reggae rock small EP that's pretty cool.
That's sweet.
Yeah, so Sirens featuring the Dirty Heads. It was a really good reminder, and it's a pretty fun song. So, especially with the weather getting nice. Oh
yeah, we're warming up for sure. That's cool. I'm gonna have to check that one out. And I think it's going to fit like what you said, kind of warming up, getting a little nicer out. So, my song of the week, I'm going to pull from one of my recent experiences as well, from the show that I went to. Although I'm not going to choose a Jerry Cantrell song, I'm going to choose a Thunder Pussy song. And it's really funny, like in the days since the show, I've been talking to different people, and they're like, "Oh, how's the show?" I was like, "Oh man, like it was really cool. Jerry's as great as ever." And the opener was like really awesome, and like, oh yeah, like who was the opener? And I was like, oh, they're called Thunder Pussy. And people are like, I'm sorry, what? But dude, like they are fucking awesome. I'm very happy that my first kind of exposure to them was live. What a treat it was. It was really cool. Four just kick-ass musicians, a lot of fun. So I'm going to choose their song "Never Know" to be my song of the week. I'm really looking forward. They're one of those. They're a band now that, like, if they're ever in my area again, or if they're not in my area, but I'm going to be in their area, like, I will see them live. Like, they're really cool. It's just this. It's such a cool mix of, like, it kind of sounds like if, and this might upset some people, but it's like if Led Zeppelin were more badass or more edgy. I don't know. They're just really fucking cool. And it was really fun. And it's one of those things, you get to a show and it's like, all right, I have an hour and a half until the opener comes on. And then, like, I hope the opener's good so it can tide me over the other 30 minutes. I have to wait till the headliner comes on. No. And oh my God, like Thunder Pussy came on and they played for an hour. And, like, I almost forget that you're waiting for another band to show up. And there's this really cool moment too, when you're an opener and the majority of the people in the crowd are not there to see you. And maybe the majority of people might not know your music. And it's just this cool moment at the beginning of the opener set where there's just that collective, let's see what you got. And, like, let's just see it. And oh my God, like right from the beginning, like, they got everybody tuned in and everybody into it. And that's a really, really special thing. And not everybody can do that. You can be great musicians and not be able to do that. Or you can be like Thunder Pussy and be great musicians and be able to do that instantaneously. And it was just really, really fun. So I implore you to check their music out and go see them live if you can. Really cool.
Yeah. That's sick.
Yeah, man.
Definitely have to check them out. I'm excited too. That's great. 2 great entries once again. I love
Absolutely.
this.
That's all we do.
I love this exercise. I was thinking about it. It's like current events. Like, it's music current events for us. It's like, what were you listening to in the last week? And that's the whole point. Mm-hmm. When you give good real-time recommendations, like, this is literally what we're listening to right now. This is what, this is what we get into. So I think it's important.
It totally is. So as this episode comes to a close, with it being our 2-year anniversary, 104 episodes, we do have a little treat for those Grunge Bible podcast faithful out there. Mm-hmm. We are very, very pleased to present you at this time a lovely curation of some of Grunge Bible's greatest podcast moments, spanning the last 2 years of podcasting.
Yeah, we went back, took a few clips from episode 1 to 104. That's got the funny stuff, some good insights, got the guests, just a little montage of what we've been up to. And Chris, it was really fun kind of pulling stuff and putting this together. So I'm excited to think, it's good. It's good looking back and, like, these collages and shit. It makes you feel good. So this is cool. I'm glad to be able to present it. And it would be kind of cool to do a whole episode of all of the things just mashed together of our best parts, but that's not easy to do.
No, it's not easy.
It's a lot of time in there,
especially as a person who does not produce or edit this show. It does not sound like an easy thing to do. But no, this is cool, and hopefully, if you've listened to the show for a while, you might remember listening to some of these, and if you laughed at it then or found it insightful or entertaining then, hopefully you find it entertaining now. But always cool to look back, but at the same time, I'm looking forward to everything that is to come for the Grunge Bible podcast.
Yep, absolutely.
So
with that being said, please enjoy, and we will see you guys same place, same time next week.
Right on, rock and roll.
Podcast episode 1
is officially a go.
Who would have thought? Look at us.
Not me. I would not have thought this.
Not me.
And I'm currently training for a marathon, so who knows if that's going to happen. And Ethan, as you know, April 5th was the day that Kurt Cobain passed away in 1994.
Dude, what are the odds that person's actual name is released, though?
That's a good point. I guess we're jumping to conclusions.
Yeah, dude.
But it's good. I work in the tree service business, so it's not good. 2 episode streak with our shirts off.
Very important.
That's big news.
Don't even get me started on airlines.
We can't let them win. We've had the wool pulled over our eyes one too many times when it comes to these airlines. Those people, I mean, they were inspired by them. Let the kids make music, for God's sake. I mean, 10 by Pearl Jam was one of the other, few CDs that I had.
And Chris, it's Halloween weekend. It's getting a little spooky around these parts.
Tad Doyle's the kind of guy that you call if you have to move a safe, or if you have to move a couch, or if you have to move some heavy operating equipment like a washing machine or something. Like
when Alice in Chains came out with that first record and the song, Man in the Box and It Ain't Like That.
Mm-hmm.
To this day, It Ain't Like That is to me the greatest stripper song of all times. Like, I play it for all my stripper friends.
And I don't pretend, I don't have a story. It's like, I was listening to my brother's basement or my sister's basement. It's like the radio and MTV dictated my musical appetite. And then if I sought out other things, it was all still because of that.
Well, fuck you, and here's to me.
Cheers, brother.
You grow as a musician, you're this young punk kid, and you just want to play as hard and as fast as you can.
Where it's like, you can't get one for under like $1,600.
I was going to say, like,
Holy
what's this thing
cow.
going for?
It's way up there.
I am fantastic as well. I got a traffic infraction ticket.
As we like to say, rock and roll, guys.
Oh, hell yeah, rock and roll. Are you talking about V-neck?
Not V-necks, no. It was
I faster had a deep V-neck.
Yo, you do that shit? I do that shit too. Let's do this shit.
Yeah, together. We're doing this together right now.
Yeah, right now. I'm gonna do this right here.
Successful Los Angeles producer, engineer telling you, no good mics, no new cameras. You hear that, Drooby-Doo?
You hear that
that.
weed whacker in the back? Keep it in.
Yeah, exactly.
Keep that shit
Turn
in.
it up.
Keep it in.
Turn up the weed
Philly.
whacker, Drew.
That's Philly, baby. It's like they say in Always Sunny. We have our ways, and we're dug in, and we're not changing.
Oh, yeah. We need the weed whackers all day long.